Okay, the good word is I'm going to make some tea while we warm up, and then we're going to start making a slidable region widget because we don't have that yet. I just typed this in, but there's no actual code for it yet. So that would be a thing, kind of like this thing in Emacs actually, right? Where you go back and forth or up and down, right? Like that. All right. We're going to have some tea in the works. Instead of calling this slider, let's call it divider for consistent terminology. And also there is a slider widget. So like, okay. I also made a file for this, but it's basically empty. Here we are. This is the file. All right. So what do we usually do? We'll do this. We'll have a default. That doesn't exist yet. We're going to do the hash. We're going to figure out where the divider rect is and how big it is. Then we're going to do this. Then we're going to be like handle sliding. We're going to have so here we're just going to make an arbitrary thing. It's going to actually be at the bottom of the region just so we could draw it. We'll get the status over there. Let's call it dragging. And then, okay, we actually want multiple. The thing is, we actually probably want to scissor the contents of the thing. So it's going to be like, hey, you're sliding the top area and then sliding the bottom area. So what we should actually do is say, here's where I'm starting to have a little bit of uncertainty about what I want to do. But first, the tea. Okay, so here's the thing. I have a problem. It's not that big of a problem, but the problem is in the theme, so we want slidable regions that slide left and right and slidable regions that slide top to bottom. So we have this vertical and horizontal orientation thing here, okay? But so I want to do things like make functions called do the top region and now do the bottom region, right? Problem is you can't say things concrete like top and bottom if that's wrong, if it's like left and right, you know? So we could say first region and second region or something. So we want to return this. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Because we want to return left or top rect, right, and right or bottom rect, like that. Okay, the way this works is call slidable region to start doing a slidable region. It will return you the top and bottom rects. Upon returning, you will be scissored to the top rect and can draw in there. When you are done with the top and want to do the bottom, call slidable region, switch to bottom rect. When you are done with both, when you are done with both, call slidable region finish. Okay. More cowbell. Have I commented on autocomplete many times? Yes. Many times. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to do this. Okay. Okay, we're also going to store these on the state because we need to get back to them. So we're going to say state.this, state.this, state.divider rect equals divider rect. So that way we can switch back to any of these. We're actually, we'll do this. Oh, we're going to pass this, we're going to give you the state struct. Okay, so we say switch to bottom rect State is a slidable region state. Okay. Finish. Let's just say call finish. Okay. We're going to say pop assert that the clip rectangle is owned by us, and then, or scissor, sorry. So we're going to say pop scissor like that. Okay. So we're going to return all this junk to you. Okay. So that's our slidable region so far. Maybe calling it switch to next rect. No, I don't want it to have more implicit state than it has to be. I don't want you to have to keep track of which one you're on in order to switch to the right one. That's an anti-pattern. Okay, here we're going to go pop, scissor, push, scissor. Push scissor of the state dot right or bottom rect. Oh, switch to second and first, right? I don't know. Let's just say bottom and top. I don't know. Now, okay, we're actually just going to do this. We could instead, because you don't want to pop any scissor. All right. So when we finish the region, we're going to do a thing. Right, so the divider theme here, right, we're going to go rounded rectangle. Actually, yeah. Who is calling me? Divider rect. Did I set the theme? No. Divider rect. I gotta pour my tea. I don't want it to be too caffeinated this late at night. It's not that late, but it's 9 p.m. That's a little late. Okay, my delicious tea. Divider rect, the shape, right, which is theme dot, or t dot, what even was it? Button theme, divider theme. Okay. And then what? The color, which we're going to want from get colors and thickness for buttons. So we do this, right? And then we call color frame thickness. All right. So these three variables are going to get called by, here, t state, all right. So these are two things that we commonly get from the button function. Let's go put these things into the state. Do I even have a state for this? Slidable region. Okay. I made a state struct before. It's got some of these things. Left or top, right or bottom, divider. Theme is a slidable region theme. Rest factor. Okay. Great. Tea is so good. Chat is very quiet today. All right. So now what? We could pause and make sure that things compile. That's a pretty good thing because I guarantee that I've forgotten several things, and like having it compile again would be a good way to tidy up the mental threads and then have a basis to start from, right? You know, thinking about what to do next. We're not even using any, actually it might compile because we're not even using any of the functions, and it's in a module with lazy compilation, but we can start calling these relatively easily. Okay, procedure is missing. Oh, because I left this. Okay, well there you go. So now the thing is we actually don't, I just realized we don't do these, right? So what we want to do is divider over factor and divider pressed factor equals update production value button, right? Of divider rect changed. We're going to say that's false. We probably want that to happen when it's clicked, right? Okay. State.buttons, divider state, divider state, divider status, theme.divider theme. Okay. So this just does things like update timers when you go over the button and whatnot. All right. So it compiles so far. Let's go to the example, and We're not even going to do anything intelligent for this yet. We're just going to make it somewhere on the screen, and who cares? And later, the whole reason to have a slidable region is to like put other widgets inside. So we'll make some space on the screen by putting some of the other stuff that we have inside this slidable region, and that'll be pretty cool. Okay. What am I? Oh, example. Okay. Slidable region R theme oh, we never set this panel theme. Our theme okay, so we're going to say state left or top, right or bottom, divider is that. Then we're going to say switch to bottom rect of state, and then we're going to say finish of state. So we're not drawing anything in there. So now let's just say two times cave. We're going to make it tall. I don't know where that is on the screen. Oh yeah, we need to do this. Okay, undeclared identifier theme, an example, really. Oh yeah, because I called it slidable region theme. What? Slidable region them. Them. Wanted button state given slidable region state. Okay. Divider over factor. Oh. Yes, we have to declare these. Button state. Oh, wait, that already is a button. What? Ah. That's why that was wrong. Okay. Top or left rect. Because it's called left or top, right? Okay. See, I was inconsistent. Left or top, right or bottom. Left or top. So it's the top or left. So if I'm going to put it that way, see, little things matter. If I'm going to say left or top, then horizontal is, you want the order to be the same, so it's not freaking confusing. All right. Just as many little wrinkles like that as you can get out. That's good. Anyway. Divider rect. It's state.divider rect. T.divider theme. That is divider theme. T.shape. That's rectangle shape. All right. Well, here we go. There's something. You can't really do much with it. We're not drawing the backgrounds, and it looks like we have texture map left on. It looks like we're drawing this texture map here because we did not do the right thing there. Okay, so, but this is a start. Once you have pixels on the screen, you're good to go. Because before you have pixels on the screen, God only knows what's going to happen, right? Okay, so in finish here, we want to set shader for color. All right, let's draw the background shapes, right? I think we should let you have two background shapes, right? We should have first background. Oh, I actually made a background theme. That's first background, second background. All right. Background theme. There's background theme. So down here, we say draw the first background, then push scissor. All right. Shader for color. Draw rounded rectangle. B is theme dot first background theme. B dot shape. B dot color. B dot frame color. We don't have a way to say frame thickness. Why not? Oh wait, that's in rectangle shape. Oh, because that's for an override. We don't want an override. Okay, so we do that, and then we push the scissor. When we switch to the bottom rect, we pop the scissor. We do the rounded rectangle, but first we go. Actually, you know what? Honestly, let's just do them both up here, because why not? Slidable region theme. First background. Okay. Procedure call is missing argument frame. Call. Oh, really? Rect. Oh, I didn't pass the rect. This is called get rect, and I didn't get rect. And obviously that's a mistake. Okay. There we go. Okay, we have a thing. We're not really seeing the dividers. I'm not sure why, but we are seeing this medium middle dude. So that's something. Have I gotten my issue of Palladium 2? I don't know. I haven't checked mail, but probably not. Today ice cream is good. Well, not where I am. Where I am, ice cream is normal. Do I look like the kind of person who does things for fun? Come on, bro. We are in it to win it. Okay. So yeah. Okay, I'm kind of not sure why we're not doing anything for these backgrounds. We set shader for color. Let me flush just in case. I don't think that should be necessary, but... oh, because I'm saying divider rect, guys. Yeah, this is not right. We're drawing the divider rect a bunch of times. Dear left or top. Oh, it's called top and bottom. See, consistent naming. I don't know. Okay. Well, that's very... They're both on the same side of the situation. Hold on. Top and middle is cut top height times 0.5. That should be right. And then divider bottom is cut top. Oh, this is R again. It's supposed to be middle. Middle, 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 bro. Okay, great. Look at that. We don't handle widgets over other widgets right now, so that's like a whole thing. But we'll take care of that later. So let's actually set these. We can leave these curved just for a test. These borders are actually kind of ugly colors now sometimes. Because I did a refactoring of, like, these look bad. We can come to that later. This also looks bad, but we'll get there. So we're going to leave this curved in order to exercise it, but probably we'll default it to not having curves down here eventually. And we probably will also make the curve be like an absolute value and not relative to the size of the thing. But, okay. Okay. So do I do dragging next? Do I mess around with the colors and make them less ugly? It probably should be very neutral colors. Like what? So my background, we didn't set this, which means that's the default background theme, which is like heinous, right? We just can't do that. Yeah, it's like a purple background theme. Let's not do that to people. Let's be just a relatively dim neutral, right? And a little bit of a brighter. Just barely yellow for the frame. I don't know why. Okay, that looks gross. but still better. Okay, let's just make it function. So now the thing is, here we're doing this. All right. So we're going to say if theme dot, what's it called? Orientation is horizontal. We're going to do one thing. Otherwise, we're going to do the vertical. Okay. And we're going to go here. Except that's not going to be cut top. You know what? Okay. So divider height, fine. It's divider thickness now. We're going to cut off the middle. We're going to say cut left and then left. Okay. And then in the example, we're going to have another one that's 8 and yeah. This is going to be we're going to say theme. We're going to say this one's horizontal. So we'll just be sort of testing both of them at the same time. Theme dot orientation is horizontal. Wait, shouldn't it be? Oh, yeah. Okay. So it actually was not defaulting to vertical. It just, we didn't do anything. All right. So this one's going to be vertical. This one's going to be horizontal. Oops, no, don't run yet. Compile, run. All right, so now you see we have one here and we have one here. Why is this one so much brighter? I think because the border thickness is defaulting to relative to height, which you don't necessarily want. Maybe we should make a global for that so it doesn't, but whatever, we'll say theme dot, oh no, not that. Divider theme. Uh-oh. Starting to get a cramped up hand, guys. Bad news. Rectangle shape dot frame thickness type equals dot relative to width. All right, there we go. Oh, the curvature also is a little weird. But actually, let's make it the same and then we can customize it later. Like, I think these look better rounder right now, but we're not. Okay, so now it's consistent in both of these. Can't do anything with it. but that's fine. Any questions so far? Windows 11 won't let you move the taskbar to the side of the screen. That sucks because that's obviously where it should be in a 16:9 display, which a lot of people have. If you want to know why they removed that, read that thread between Casey and the Windows terminal people, and it should become clear to you that they're just bad programmers. I'm sorry to be that blunt about it, but they're barely able to do anything. Is the slider going to have themes for a range with upper and lower values? Themes for a range with upper and lower values. I don't know what that means. Right now with the slider, you pass it the minimum and maximum value every frame when you do the slider. That's not in the theme because you might want a bunch of sliders like with the same visuals but different value ranges. So you provide it in the function call. I need to find a Thanos power glove. Hold on. I have a right-handed Thanos power glove, but I need a left-handed Thanos power glove, dude. In fact, I have two right-handed Thanos power gloves. I.e., select two things on the same slider. Select two things. Do you mean like two whole different sliders inside the same outer body? Or what? Imagine what kinds of bad things you can say based on the current state. Yeah, the current state of like 1.2 people working on what you're able to see. Holy shit, dude, it's a completely different thing. If I had the budget of Windows 11, do you know what I could do with that? It's not even funny, dude. An upper and lower value on one slider. I think you could hack that maybe. So what we're going to do eventually is, right now this doesn't exist for most things, but you're going to be able to put like callbacks for each piece of a thing. So like if you put a background draw callback, then it won't draw the background and it'll call your function instead, right? And if you put a bar draw callback, same, right? And so I think you could do two sliders or three or however many you wanted, like on top of each other, and draw the bars wherever you wanted. I mean, I guess actually the thing that you would need is like an offset within the region for the one particular bar, and then you could do it that way. But that seems like a reasonable thing to add anyway. I would delegate the work to others. Yes, I would delegate the work to others. I would delegate it to people who were good and could do the job and produced quality output, bro. Like, listen, okay, let's get this down here right now. If you think that the current very bad state of software is something that is unavoidable and that cannot be fixed, and it's just, it is what it is, and you wouldn't do any better, and nobody could do any better than what's there, just leave the channel. I don't want you here. I'm very serious about that. Go take your mediocrity fucking somewhere else. I have no time for it. It's that kind of defeatism that is a large component of the problem. still don't have a Thanos power glove, guys. This is bad news. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where to look now. I've looked everywhere. Somebody stole the Infinity Stones. Someone stole the Infinity Stones. Well, this really is sort of a problem long term. I had one of these. Anyway, we'll see if this gets bad. If it gets bad, I might just have to stop programming. I don't know. All right. So, where were we before we lost the gauntlet? We were... Oh, wait, is it over there? I don't know, guys. Rip my programming career. So we've got these things, and well, we can just we can just look at what we do. So if our status flag is over, we check the mouse button state and set dragging, right? So let's do that. I kind of want to call this something besides slidable region, because we also have slider, right? It's what is this called usually? Is there a standard name for this? There must be. People must call this something. I didn't make up the idea of a widget that does this. So here's our comment handle dragging. I don't know why. Oh, I see why. Okay. And we're just going to do this. I feel like we might want to do something more compact than that. Okay, so we're just going to set changed here and there. That's just going to make like a flash in the button. It resets the action timer in the button state. Okay. Now, if we are dragging, we want to update the position. Now, here's the thing. We are trying to be robust in all of these widgets to things like, hey, you just moved your window from one display to the other, right? So we can't track the position of the divider in pixels exactly. Or if we do, we have to respond to display switch events and so forth. And I don't really want to do that. And so we're going to track it as a fraction of height or width, right? We're going to store that on the state struct, and that's what you're going to drag around each frame. Drawer. I don't know if it's drawer. Track and thumb. Track bar. Yeah. I'm not sure I totally love any of those names, but we'll consider renaming it at some point. Okay, anyway. We are gonna okay. So there's all sorts of things we have to do. So first, if we make a new state object for this, if we created, then we say we need to set the divider T of the input rect slide dimension. We're going to have this thing called slide dimension. And actually, we need to do this down here. So in here, we're going to say slide dimension is a float. Slide dimension is r.w or r.h. And we're also going to say slide vector, right? So here we're sliding in X, right? And here we're sliding in Y. Okay, so if we created, then we want to say divider T, state.divider T equals what? Well, we have a thing in the theme. We could call it like divided region. I don't know. Initial divider position type. Yes. Yeah, we're going to want to change that on the... Yeah. All right. So if you make a vertical slidable region and don't set all these to things that are sensible, it's going to be weird. We might want to make a helper function for that later or something. Or maybe not. I don't know. Okay, so we want to use both of these variables. All right. And how are we going to do that? We're going to say well, we're going to set divider t. So we're going to say if complete this is equal to, well, these things. Okay, we're going to do something in each of these cases that we'll fill in a second. And that's going to involve this variable. And then so we're going to divide by the overall width. So this is going to be the width in pixels, right? So here we're going to say divider pixels is r.w, right? Here it's r.h. Here it's just the theme. And here we need to introduce a global variable. Or just reject that. But we're going to be a good citizen and make a global. Okay, we'll make a setter for that in a second. But down here, we also want to say this thing. When we resize the display, let's say it's I mean, how big might you want to make? I don't know, a quarter of the screen. I don't know. It's just some number that you get a weird default if you don't set it. All right. I forgot global. Okay. I could probably get rid of the phrase in pixels off of those. Initial divider position type. This is on theme. Divider theme. No. Global initial divider position in pixels. Okay, there's no status. Status. Pretty obviously supposed to be divider status. Okay. So we don't actually let you drag it yet, but You see we are. Actually, I'm setting changed when you release, and I don't actually want that because that's making this flash. And we probably don't want it to flash right now. So, but it's actually tracking that I'm dragging and undragging. We're not actually moving the thing yet, but let's do in a minute we want to get this divider thickness, right? And do the same thing here. We should factor this because this is becoming a pattern. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do it this way for right now. But in the top of the changelog, which is where I do this a lot, we're going to say factor. Oh, I did this one. Factor relative to stuff into a common routine, because all you really need to do is instead of pastaing this every time, we just pass the type, the value, and the global, right? So it becomes one line with 3 arguments, which is better, I think. Okay. But first we're going to do even more of that. Okay, where are we? Yeah, okay. So this if created here sets divider t. So now we want to use divider t to do this stuff. Okay. So I actually want to do this down here. So this top one, maybe we can refactor these together. But for now, we're just going to get our dimension and stuff, right? And the reason I want to do this separately is because we need to initialize our position after we know the information. Okay. Anyway. So we're actually going to do it this way. Because we want to clamp this. Let's do this. The reason I'm doing that is because, like, I don't want the divider to go out of the top or bottom of the or the left or right if you're going horizontally, right? We want the whole divider to stay in, so we don't let it to go below its radius in either direction, right? So then here we go cut left by X, and then there, and the same here, I guess. Y is r dot h, something like that. Okay, that gives us the okay, wait. Of course, this is state.divider t now. Okay. And then, of course, we want to let you drag it. Yeah, it's good that we split this because we want to let you drag this here. So we want to say do dragging to update the divider rect. You always want to do input before you make major decisions in render, right? Because otherwise, if you do those things in the opposite order, you'll be a frame late, or even worse, you could have like inconsistent state because you made some decisions based on where you think the divider is, and then you move the divider, right? You don't want to do that stuff. So okay, here's what we're going to do. We're not going to do anything yet. We're going to make it compile first because I probably have problems. Changed is used. Hell yeah, it's used before defined. All right. Okay. So that's good. Okay, so this one, it's just got a real funny position. I don't know why. I don't know why it's not detecting me as being over that rectangle anymore. I broke something. All right, what is going on? Oh, because we don't know the divider rect yet. Oh, this is a problem. Because we need to know the divider rect. We'll do it twice. We'll say if you actually moved it, we'll recompute it. And that's what we'll do. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Handle input in a low latency and accurate way. If we move the divider, we'll call this again. So we're going to say get rects for state. That's all. And I don't know. Say compute, because get rects makes it feel like state is a slidable region state. All right. So we need to know the divider thickness and the we need to know a lot of things. Okay, the whole point of this was removing this up here. Up to here. And we're getting rid of this. Okay. divider pixels. Divider T. The Rect. All right, we'll just get divider T from the state. This is called divider pixels. Cut left, cut theme. This is weird because the state has these members on it, though. But we put them on later. And that kind of thing. Oh, it doesn't have the full rect. I'll pass the theme for now, but we might regret that later. That's all I'm saying. Because if there's more than one source for information, you might use the wrong one. You might use the one that's not updated. That can happen. In fact, okay, let's at least do that with state. State.theme is theme. Okay. Okay. Who even knows where we're at now? Divider pixels doesn't exist. Ah, yes. We need to know that no matter what. Obviously. Dang it. Okay. Great. So we have divider pixels. And at this point, we can do this. Okay. We do not pass the theme. And these now are oh, no. I deleted that line and part of my brain was saying move it down and I didn't listen. All right. So undeclared identifier divider thickness is because it's pixels. I swear I looked at the screen and said, do I need to rename this anymore? And my brain said, no, even though it's right there. Okay, great. Whoa, that's a huge ass divider. I would say that's rather large. We've got junk in the trunk there. Divider pixels. Relative to height takes an H. Relative to width takes a W, bro. Now that's still not going to make it not THICC. It's just going to swap. It's going to transpose which one is big. Oh, but this is initial okay. What, guys? Okay. This is about variable names. This divider pixels, we did this. We know what this is supposed to be. This is position in pixels, but I didn't name it specifically enough. And then I confused myself. I was like, oh, that's the thickness in pixels, right? Which is bullshit. It absolutely is not. So this is, or offset in pixels. Like, dude, it pays, yeah. And this is thickness in pixels, which we have yet to compute. It's here, we can go, it's 20 right now. All right, there we go. This is fine. So the deal is, let me put a no check-in up here. Now, the deal is the following. The deal is the following. When we've been doing all this just so we could get to this point where we say, if we're dragging and we're still dragging, then we say dir is v2 mouse delta x mouse delta y float, or what are these called? Yeah. Okay. And we say dot is dot, or let's just do this in one thing. We'll say moved is slide dimension. Wait, dimension is the slide vector times dot product of dir slide vector. Okay, so this is a 2D thing, and we're going to say moved is moved v.x plus moved v.y. If moved, let's say moved xy. Okay. If we moved, then we do some stuff, and then we recompute the rects since the divider moved. Okay. There we go. State, let's say denom is, so we again want this what? This doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's just do this and we'll go back to that. So we want this slide dimension, all right? And then we're going to divide by that. So we're going to say state divider t plus equals moved times or divided by denom. All right. Okay. Going back over to here, WTF. See here, I'm thinking this is divider thickness. We need to pass the dimension, slide dimension. All right. So I mean, I guess we know that that's... I'm going to give us some latitude. No, you know what? Screw it. We're going to use our very long and explicit name. Okay, so I get why we don't pass the dimension in, because we have to do that switch anyway. Wait, really? Oh. Okay. So, hey guys, sometimes you do a lot of typing and then it pays off and it works. Oh, we're going the wrong way. Okay, that's fine. Ooh, I went out of bounds. So let's deal with that too. Okay, you shall not go out of bounds. And then what? What else was I going to do? Don't even remember. Oh. It was going the wrong direction and why? That was the thing. Okay. Wait, why though? We shouldn't compute it that way. We shouldn't have to flip y. Flipping y is a sign of small brain. Oh, because we're cutting from top. We're cutting from top. This is a little bit of a small brain situation because for layout purposes, we actually do want people to think about top as being first. All right, we'll flip y. It's still cryptic as to why that makes sense, but wait, that didn't do it. And we still go out of bounds. Do we go out of bounds in the other direction? No. Oh, we're clamping to the wrong thing because we're not able to go all the way that way. Wait, what? Oh, it's the minus way. Okay, let's do it this way. I'm going to say bottom and middle is cutting bottom r dot y, and then divider rect, and top is cut bottom. Okay. That's not so small brain. But why... So we do need to check. So right now what's going on is we're setting the scissor box to negative dimensions, which the back end doesn't like, as it shouldn't. But before we do that, before we do that, I needed more caffeine and I didn't drink it. Now the brain is running slow. Oh, before we do that, we want to figure out why we're lopsided. I'm like not doing the right thing in both times, right? So we've got our divider T. It's clamped from 0 to 1. So X is like the width times the T, that's like where along the thing, and then minus the thickness in pixels times 0.5. And we clamp it here. So we can't go below the half. I don't know. Is it okay that the border gets thicker? We'll change all that stuff later. We're intentionally not setting all those defaults because they're easy to set later and we're being goofy, right? Okay. So what is going on? Why do I not understand what is happening? Okay, let's focus on the X coordinate. I'm just going to do some print statements. Like this should be obvious, but for some reason my brain isn't doing it. So let's see. Half 10 divider T 0.2, 98. Okay, great. So we're going left. So it's saying divider T is 0. But like, that's not actually... It's saying X is 10 dkp minus, which doesn't make sense because that region to the left... Why does it think it's minus 10? Okay. And then that way we die. Okay. Let's print out a little bit more. R dot X is whatever. And then, whoops. And then, so we're all the way on the left. half 10, 530, divider t 0. I don't think it should be able to get that low. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, x10. So y, if we think this is 20 pixels wide and it's 10 pixels in, that all sounds right to me. So why do we see more stuff off to the left? Explain that to me. Let's print out even more stuff. We're just a print factory here. Wham. Okay. Top.w is 10. That is not right. It should be 0. It should be 0. Okay, what am I doing wrong here? So we have x is the width times the divider t, which we established is 0. Minus half. Oh, okay. I changed in my mind what x was. See, here when I'm clamping here, I'm thinking about x as being at the middle of the divider. And when I do it here, I'm thinking it's at the edge of the divider. I actually want it to be at the edge of the divider. So we actually want this. See, that was very simple. And it took me 2 years to think of it, which is why you want to be good at computers and not do what I just did and run the debugger and all that stuff. Okay, great. So that goes. We no longer, I'm going to let it slide for now, haha, about we want to do our usual. See, if I drag the mouse outside, it doesn't think I'm over it now, but I am over it. So we're gonna want that. Okay. Let's actually set the theme to be a little bit less dumb while we're at it. So the thing is, I wonder if I want to safety proof our scissor setting functions so that if you pass them a negative rectangle, they won't explode like that, but we'll see. Okay, so let's go back to our theme. So first of all, it was mentioned in the chat that the border gets thicker and thinner, and that is true. Let's change that. We could make it proportional to the orthogonal direction, but we're going to make it use the absolute from global. Where are we? Slidable region theme dot. So, first background dot shape dot roundedness type equals, or not roundedness type, frame thickness type. We're just going to use the global. All right, the global default. And that'll let us check our global default and see if it's reasonable. And let's actually also set the rounding flags on there. So we're defaulting to horizontal, I guess. So we want to set the rounding flags to northwest, southwest, all right? And for second background, we go northeast and southeast. Okay. Okay. Oh, rounding flag. Oh, God. Longing up. Okay. This looks fine. Oh, we still want the curvature to be... Actually, maybe we want it to be a little responsive when you squish in. That's kind of fun. Okay. This one, of course, we want to change the rounding flags. Right. So... Okay, so now we've got two little region boppers. I actually, we're not going to keep it that way, but it's funny. It's funny. Actually, we could keep it this way. Oh, so if we change this to be relative to width, okay, oh, party foul. Now, you know what? All right. It's not called a rounding type? Roundedness type. Okay, that's a little... I don't know about that. I don't know about that naming convention. All right, so now we just get a little squish at the end. We don't get the mega squish the whole time. The border is kind of okay, reasonable. So, oh, let's fix the are you inside situation, which is easy. If you somehow double that, we don't want to do something weird. Okay, so here it's sort of glowing. I mean, it's not that big of a visual difference, but you can sort of tell. And then if I go outside there, it's still active. Still active. All right. Great. So I think we want to put something in there. And I think we could put these checkboxes in there. Couldn't we? Couldn't we do that? I think we could do that. Let me get some water. Okay. Well, you also changed the system cursor to thinger when dragging. Oh, maybe, I don't know. System cursor kind of stuff we can do later. That's like sort of orthogonal to what we're doing, where you can like turn that on or off. Okay. I mean, honestly, what I should do I should put this one inside this one, right? Like that's really the thing to do, and then we'll put things in there. Although, if I do that, that's going to make the height variable, which is going to mean that all these parameters change because we set them to relative to width. So we may end up setting them to like global. Or absolute value updated per frame. Okay. Anyway. So we're going to want to put actual content in. But before doing that, okay. Well, I don't see anything in there, which means, oh no, because, okay. I don't actually want this. I want, we want to actually use the region given to us by the other thing. There we go. Shoop dee shoop dee shoop. Shoop dee shoop dee shoop. Shoop dee shoop dee shoop. Shoop 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 shoop. Shoop 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 shoop. Okay, so let's put these in the top. The damage resistance enums. Okay. We're sort of burying our cool enum example in the middle of something else, but here we go. All right. Oh yeah, 'cause we want to again use this. And how big was our line height? Oh, we know down here, vertical. Let's just do this. Something like this. Okay, and we're going to do s dot y here. Okay, we still don't see the thing. Oh, oh boy, they're right there. Why are they there? I can click the checkboxes. Why are they all on top of each other? Hold on, what? S is cut top of big S. Well, I mean, we can just call this left or top, right? Oh, because we're passing R. Not the right thing. There we go. Okay, we probably want a little bit of padding. But like, see when they're outside, we don't do the clicks right now. Never mind that, but okay. We do, because we don't have widget focus, we do make them glow. So that's a little weird. We're going to want to manage that. You know, this is a little weird. We're maybe going to want to turn off drawing the border. Like, we don't have a flag to disable drawing the frame, but we probably should have that. You can set the color to W equals 0, but we probably should have that. So then we're going to want fun things in here or something. All right. So I kind of want content to put down here or something. I mean, we should probably position this a little bit to the right on the screen. Put some more padding there. Let's go, I don't know. I don't know how big K is. Whoops. Later we'll do like a demo program that really works hard at this, but yeah. So we probably want to make it a little wider so that when we put stuff down here, that it will yeah. Oh, also we're going to want a little bit of padding here from the left side of the region. All right. Are the arguments that way? Yeah. Okay. So pretty good. Pretty good. We actually want more Y pad. Let's call this, let's make these separate. Okay, so it's clear what we're talking about. I don't know why we need so much YPad. That seems like a lot, but oh no, I do. That's actually not okay. So right now our widgets are still they're still lower left corner, which I'm convinced that I'm going to change soon. But because of that, we're actually drawing this coordinate that we do this at is the bottom of the thing, not the top. And this is already evidence of why we don't really want to do that. Okay, so then that means we don't really need as much pad. That's even too much. That's starting to be reasonable. Am I planning to put in a table? I don't know what a table widget is. What is a table widget? Somebody asked that the other day. I don't know if it was you. What does table widget mean? Because I understand what it means if you're doing an auto layout system, but that's not really what we're doing here. So if you want a table, you just like do a table in your code. Like we do tables all the time. Like, okay, there's some tables. It's like, I don't know. I don't know, man. Tabular display of, but what data? Like, what do you mean? Like, I think if you're asking that question, you're assuming that this is a different kind of API than it is. That's, which I guess makes sense if you're used to other APIs. But the answer is, if you want to draw a table, draw a table. I'm not stopping you, right? Right? Okay. I mean, this is fine for me now because we could put more content in here later, I guess. So, so I guess, oh, right. Okay, this is weird. So what's happening here is we're drawing like this outer oblong, right? And these curves are of the left and right guys, kind of like living in the outer guy. So I think we would probably like to be able to set those invisible. So it's not even just that we're drawing this, but we're also drawing this background like on top of another background. So we would like the ability to set a background to invisible, and setting the W to 0, maybe that's fine. Let's try that for now. We could add a disabled separate. Let's just see how we like setting the alpha to 0. So in here, when we do this for the horizontal guy, we're going to want to set the backgrounds on the theme. We want to say Um, I'm not sure that it's called. Is it called background color? Background theme. Color and frame color. Drawing the background. Since we are already inside a background, that is fine. So we're going to do that. Whoops. And we're going to do frame color. Okay. So now we kind of have this thing inside this thing, and it's all good. It's a little weird that this is going outside this rounding. I mean, again, I'm fine with it for now, but that's something you could tune, or who knows, we do something about it later. Columns with headings row with the twirl down to sort A to Z, etc. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure. Like, we can talk about that kind of thing later. I would classify that as a very high level widget. That's not really, so right now I want to complete out the space of like low level stuff. Like the color picker here is a high level widget that does lots of different things, right? And uses sub widgets of different kinds. And the reason why I did it earlier is just because we use a color picker in the game, and I wanted to think about this, about how we want it to be, and I wanted to use this as a test of the lower level widgets, right? But like higher level stuff like that, I think starts to come later. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? We could like put all these buttons in here. We'll do it later. So I guess I just want to draw something on here to make it more recognizable, right? The way that we have like these little arrows and stuff. And it could be just like a diamond, like representing a north, south, or east, west. It could be a slightly stretched diamond in the direction that you go, although I'm not sure that's going to matter to anyone. I never did the thickness, did I? It's still 20, huh? Yeah. Okay, we got to fix this. Oh, and then we'll factor that function. That'll be great. Okay, so we have divider thickness. Right? Okay. Now, you know what? We'll factor it first. Here's what we're going to do. We're just going to put this on the to-do list because I want to check this in because I don't want to make more work to undo. So we're just going to, you know, hey, look, it still works. I'm going to check this in. Slidable region example. And that's great. So now we're going to start factoring the thing, and then we'll come back and do that. In fact, now that I've checked in, I can put the no check-in back. Do the other widgets all behave properly when they're inside the slider region widget and you drag the mouse past the edge of the slider widget? Maybe. That's definitely something to test later. It's unclear. Like, I feel like the behavior that you want is maybe widget specific, right? So like, for example, we just blanket ignore button presses when you're outside the clip rectangle, which would handle that. But like, if you're dragging a slider, do you want it to stop at the edge of the window if the slider keeps going? I kind of don't think so, right? I think it should go. I think as long as you are able to initially grab the slider, it should go, right? Maybe. Maybe not. So the backend for this is currently OpenGL, but it's set up to be pluggable. So by supplying a small set of functions, you can retarget this to any backend. That's like part of the design. By small set, I think I mean like 8 or something. Let's go look at that. That's more than 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 functions is all it uses. So if you can define those for whatever graphics API you want, then it'll work. Okay. As you can see, it's bedtime, but we're going to do this factoring. And we're going to do it just right here. We're going to say divider offset in pixels equals get float parameter, I guess, of and the nice thing about one of the things I designed this programming language to do is that when you're factoring some code like this out into a function, you can just, right? It's not like C++ where it's a pain. You just put it right here and, you know, it's fine, right? You don't have to make it a weird lambda. It looks like every other function. So we're going to say type. What is this even called? Type is a size computation. Local is a float, global is a float, returning a float. We could, of course, parameterize the float into any type or whatever, but oh, it's going to, because Emacs doesn't understand, it's going to hose my indentation again. Okay, so we say type, we say local. Oh, we need to pass the rect as well. Okay. And then this is global. Okay. So we pass the rect. And if this works, then we have our function, right? So that's great. It doesn't work. Divider offset in pixels. Oh, yeah. This is, we want result. I forgot to return the value. I forgot armed robbery was against the law. Okay, so, you know, that's doing this stuff and that works. So that's great. So we can move this to, I don't know, module as a module parameter. Man, I'm hosing it. I got to get a better indentationer. All right. So that works. So now anywhere that we use this. So here we could say radius pixels is get float parameter shape.roundedness type shape.roundedness and global rounding radius in pixels. Right? Boom. And then we're going to go for two of these at one. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Oh, see, I did this one a little bit weird. I don't see why I can't just say field. This is kind of redundant. Okay, what was I doing here? Oh, I was letting you pass an override. And I'm doing that after. So we need to put that override into the function. All right, then since that's a little hairier, let's just test it out. Procedure call is missing argument global. No, it's missing the rect. I need to fix that error message. Roundedness type. No. Size computation given. What am I doing? Get float parameter. Let's put the rect first. I don't. The rect. This is get rect. Okay. The rect goes first. Which means we're going to have to change the other place. Okay. So that was a button related thing. Buttons still work, apparently. That's great. Okay. So this part, we're going to want to pass this override into as an optional parameter. Override. Okay. Field is local if there we go. So, and then, see, the reason I was doing this was just, it's a little bit confusing in retrospect. So I'm going to do the following. Here we're going to say, you know what? Let's just do this. Right? Why don't we just do that? That is the intention of this original thing. Okay, I think that's going to do the thing. So then we say frame pixels colon equals get float parameter from the rect shape.frame thickness type comma shape.frame thickness comma whoops, I deleted it because it's up here. Global frame thickness in pixels. Bammo. Okay, well that was button frame sizing things and they're all looking good. Okay, so let's see who else has these. So this is actually the theming. This is our new function. I think that was it so far. But we were about to add more, so let's just do that and then we can check it in. So we factored that. Now we want to use that on the divider thickness. We're going to say this is get float parameter r theme dot something. Yeah, it's bedtime. Okay, theme dot divider thickness type theme dot divider thickness. You know, we probably should put this into a substruct at some point. And then global divider thickness in pixels. Okay. So now it's no longer hard-coded 20. Oh, it's much thinner. It's a little too thin. But let's change that on the theme. Divider thickness is 0.05. Oh, wait, from the global. So we're not even looking at this parameter. Uh, 20. Whoops. We're setting it back to 20. All right, that's actually half what it was. Oh, because we're at, yeah, that's 20. So we actually really want something chunkier for now. We want these to be easy to grab. Okay, well that was successful. Okay. Look at the value just from today. That's not that much value, but it's a good value start. Do I need the empty through case? If you have a complete. It sort of defeats the usefulness of any complete warning. No, it's orthogonal to that. What that's for, that's a different thing. Okay. I keep having to explain this to people, but it's a subtle point. What complete tests is that you explicitly mention each of these. Complete doesn't actually care about this. It says you have to mention them explicitly. Okay, first of all. Because if you do this, then sure, it handles everything. So whatever, right? That's not why you would use complete. Okay. The reason you put this here anyway is as a fail-safe if you somehow get an out-of-range enum value in your variable. You pick some kind of behavior for it, that does something just as a small software robustness thing, right? Or to help you debug and not go crazy when you're debugging, right? I mean, otherwise this would come out to be 0, which is not the worst thing. But like, this is not supposed to run in the regular case. It's just there to be paranoid. Wouldn't it be good to require a default case to make sure you're handling invalid values? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know, because again, in a correctly working system, you're never supposed to hit this case. So I don't feel super strongly about it. I would just say that this is what I am doing lately in this programming language. I don't do this in C++, but when I program in this language, I find that my tendencies are, I'm adapting to the language, right? And doing things differently in it than I would in other ones. Do I ever do the thing where I would assert false? Maybe, but that's only for debugging. That's not really a fail-safe for runtime. I could do that here as well. But I feel, I mean, we could do that. Since this is a very core routine, we could do that here. Make sure it doesn't go off. All right. I feel like it's bedtime. I feel like we want to, in the future, do some more stuff. To make this a little nicer. Really, we want more content to kind of go in one of these. But that said, next on my list is like a text widget that's going to be just a port of the game console, the output part of the game console. Cleaned up, because there's definitely some stuff in that code that I don't want to ship out to the people because it's messy. So I'll do that, but that'll give us more content on this screen. And then after that, maybe we tune the colors and stuff. I don't know. Like, I'm not totally sure what is enough in terms of starting widgets for me to feel good about it. Like, kind of what I want to do is just make a pretend app with these and just see if this is enough, you know? Am I going to get my PhD too? Oh, dude, I got my PhD a long time ago. Check it out. Dude. You could scroll up. You could well, that's not a very good copy and paste color. I don't know what the fuck happened there. Oh, I think it's different. See, we have different pages. Oh no, it's the same on all the pages. We like filter the output into different pages. Yeah, this is a very bad highlight color. Oh my God. Anyway, I can copy and paste and whatever. We don't triple click, sadly. None of this is object oriented. No, it is very not object oriented. Make a terminal out of it. Well, I think Casey's got that handled. Although we certainly could have done that. I'll tell you what, I mean, this is a port of the witness console, and the witness console I probably had on some previous project. We didn't have a console like that on Braid, though, so maybe it was an in-between thing. I don't know. Any questions about what we were doing today? Whoops, not that. I wanted to run the example again. Why did that disappear? It's so weird. So we've got some good widgets, some widgies. We've got some widgies. I do feel like maybe theming them a little bit is next, right? Something. I have multiple tabs. Is that a widget worth creating? Not as such, not to do that. So for this one right here, so this is kind of like multiple tabs, right? I will show you the code for this. Like this is literally, we for loop over the buttons we want to draw and we do it. It's like, could that be a widget? I mean, maybe. Like half this code is just saying what the bitmaps are for where it is in the loop and then saying what to do. Like very little of it is like widget maintenance. So, you know, if you just want a bunch of buttons next to each other, it's pretty easy. Does a widget inside the lower thing work currently? It should. Let's do something really stupid. Ready? I'm going to put this inside an extra. Let's find out. Let's find out if it works. Whoops, button height, undeclared identifier. Oh, frack. Okay, this is bad. Because we're using the scrollable region to tell us. Let's just say, let's just make up a new button height up here. And we'll see if we're sad about that. That's probably too small. Oh, it's render height. Probably too small. I would say that's too small. I also would say I forgot to use a different. All right. So button height is going to be bigger. Who knows? We're still going to need that. Okay, now here, when I did this, I'm still using the wrong rect. So we're going to say right or bottom. Whoops. Sorry, up here. Okay. I'm not sure why we are not seeing the buttons. Oh, because I'm using hold on. Are the buttons visible? Yeah, okay. It's still a little small. Let's actually, that might be fine. That's fine at full size. So what I don't know is why is this unhappy? Does anyone see what I'm doing wrong here? Is there a plan for simp windows? Yeah, that's probably one of the widgets we'll do. Is just like a draggable, like a draggable window, right? So we call begin scrollable region with inside rect. Like we're sort of reusing this R variable, which is a little bit scary. Let's clean that up. I don't think that's the problem. And in fact, this could cause even more of a confusion temporarily. So we're setting it to the entire inside region. Let's just see what happens. In theory, nothing bad should happen here. Oh, that's a clue. That looks like a really big button. Why am I drawing a really big button? That looks like a button sized to this whole what? Why is that? Oh, because we declared a new button height, guys. Bro. Learn to program. Okay, that didn't matter. Don't worry, I'm still learning to program. Okay, we actually got some scroll bar now. That's good. That's the right amount of scroll bar for how many buttons we have, right? The weird thing is, like, why is there a giant ass button? That's what I don't understand. This part I understand. Okay. Button is sized for the full scrollable region height. Yeah, that is kind of a clue. But we're supposedly setting this to frickin' button height. I wonder if button height got reset by some, because we did move this way down low. So it's possible that we just hosed that. No, that's pretty good button height. So I want to see how much we're moving relative to the thing. Why 1080? We're drawing in the same place all the time. (1080) is a suspicious coordinate. I don't know how we got that. Oh, wait. This is the wrong... See, I'm debugging the wrong thing. All right. Here we go. That's better. So we're printing a bunch of buttons at about the right stride from each other. It thinks the width is 34 pixels, which seems way too small to me. Although, maybe I was dragging it around. Let's see. Oh, maybe that's not too small. All right. So, the height of S must just be too big. Again, because it's bedtime, I probably did something really dumb. No. The height of S is correct. Dude, what's going on? It's just got an O. Why is there a giant O? So that's what's weird is, like, someone is somehow getting the whole... frickin' thing of R. This R out here. What is going on there, right? Am I somehow... No. Like, how is that value? Oh, it's right here, guys. I'm a dummy dumb. Don't use the letter R when you're meant to use the letter S. If you want to succeed in the games industry, don't do that. Okay, so the weird thing here is we're using the size of the region to control the button size. And we maybe want to do that, maybe don't. That's like a choice that you have, right? But anyway, so that's a thing. Okay. It's a little bit like we're not scissoring, like the button text goes outside the frame a little bit, which is weird, and we want to look at that at some point probably. But and like what's going on there? I think we're accidentally passing bad scissor rect or something, but you know. It's pretty good. Do we have an internal style guide we use for code formatting? No. No. What I do is I format based on meaning, right? So it's like, look, I'm doing some things that are related. These things are also related, but it's a slightly different, like, these 4 lines have an intent of turning things off. So I broke them out into their own separate paragraph, right? Like, it's by meaning, it's not by syntax. Should the widgets inside be clipped to the rounded edge of the slider region? Maybe, but we ain't going to do that for a long time, because the problem is that starts to become computationally expensive and or involve weird shaders, because like what you get from graphics APIs is generally probably just rectangular clipping, although nah, probably just rectangular clipping. So if we wanted to clip to a curved thing like that, we would need to do an arbitrary sized pixel mask, which we probably will do in the far future. It's just, it's probably not a good cost benefit to do that right now. So I would say right now, just tune your stuff so that doesn't happen, and later we'll deal with it. How does the scrollable panel handle clip? It just sets the clip rectangle. Yeah, we could use a stencil buffer. That's also true. Yeah, who knows? The problem with a stencil buffer is you have a limited number of clip regions before you run out, and I would have to like do the math on whether that's okay. If I had 5 or more lines of code, all of which did unrelated things, would I still separate them? I mean, totally unrelated? Probably. I don't know. I'd have to see the specific case. Stopped when she reached the mansion or hidden village. That's like 2/3 of the way through the book. That's pretty far. What are my thoughts on a status bar widget? Again, I don't know what a status bar widget is. Like, I don't know what that means. Status of what? Like, oh, like the status bar on Emacs. Well, I mean, this is literally just drawing some items. I don't think that's a general purpose widget. I think that's something you make for your program, because what you're going to want to do in there is very specific to your thing. Oh, you're right. Nobody should ever create a programming language. So no more programming languages ever for the future because someone in chat says you shouldn't create a programming language. Bye, everyone. We're shutting down. No more programming language. Having problems with async await. Well, I'm not that surprised. But the real thing I'm saying about it also is it's going to be low performance when you do get it working. So, yeah. Are smart pointers bad? I think they're bad. Yeah. I think they're bad. I am not a fan of smart pointers. I have almost never used them in my life except a little bit experimentally when I was saying, oh, what is this and how does it go? And on one or two jobs when I had to because like I was working in a system that used them. Does the slideshow program have a GUI yet? No, but that's partially the reason why I'm doing this is so that in programs like that, when I want a GUI, I can like do some things now. Yeah, so like when I go back to the slideshow program and do like a better presenter mode or whatever, I can use some of these widgets to do it. Anyway, I do think it's my bedtime, but thank you everybody for coming by. We're going to quite futilely look on Twitch for somebody to raid, and that usually does not go well when we do it this late at night, but we're going to try anyway. Like there's ducks and barn owls, okay. You always can count on that. Gauntlet, is this person programming Gauntlet? Room data. Okay, there's no camera there, but oh, it's in Java. It's the year 2021 and someone is maybe doing a game in Java. That's kind of odd, but okay. Far North development. Doesn't really look like programming though.
Yeah, I feel like chat is not keeping up.
Well, that's how it always is. Stardius. Wow, there's people doing stuff. Not a fan of the music, but he is programming in C#, so that's pretty good. Making a game. Python tutorial. Well, that's maybe a little bit beginner for our audience. Okay, I think we're going to raid the Gauntlet situation, and if that was a mistake, then we'll be sad. Thanks, everybody, for coming by, and we'll do some more stuff later.